It is time to chat with Jim and Ben from the U.S. Staffing Agency. Good morning, guys.
Hey,
Good morning, Tim.
Did you hear the news about Sparty? They're gonna
do tell.
They're not gonna have Sparty allowed in the parades anymore because they're concerned about the people wearing the mascot uniform getting overheated. Now, my first thought was, you know what? This is a major university. There's some brilliant minds there.
They could cool that thing off.
For heaven's sakes, figure out a suit that's cooler.
Well, U of M, we've solved that problem. We just don't have a mascot.
There you go.
We eliminated the need for
That's
it
right.
altogether.
That's right.
And Northwestern, too. No one knows who that is.
Wow. Do they have a Wildcat that shows up on the
They don't.
field?
It's much like Michigan. It's just
Like it's seen, but seen on the but not really.
Well, you got to admit,
around out there.
Sparty's a pretty cool mascot as mascots
for
go.
sure.
yeah.
You know, so
Very
get
iconic.
those brilliant minds at Michigan State
Put some
together.
fans in there.
You know, fans or some kind of coolant
cooling
or
unit.
or maybe
Hire
some.
some U of M engineers to.
Yeah,
We would help them out.
good one there.
That's right.
They would never get out of that suit.
Well, Tim, some people wake up and have a bad day simply because it's a work day.
Right,
Kind of like
yeah.
Sparty on a Monday when
That's
he's
right.
got wearing that big heavy suit
That's
on a hot day.
And if this applies to anyone in your listening audience, then we have some good news for them. You may feel better about your day when you hear a couple of these stories about people having just a bad work day.
This one is really a bad day. Person was hired into a corporate position. She's a brand new employee now.
Right.
First day in the afternoon,
Mhm.
the boss calls a department meeting. I'm sure she's thinking, hey, it's about me. They're going to introduce me to the
Yep.
department.
Sure,
And
yeah.
she shows up. They were immediately informed that the department was being dissolved, effective right now. So, yeah, she got fired on her first day.
Oh,
halfway
man.
through.
Now, that is a bad day.
That is so many questions come to my mind, though. Like, what were they thinking?
Yeah. Well, okay, here's the last one. This is about a salesperson who was called to a client's place of business.
Right.
But I don't know if he was using Waze or Google Maps or what, but he got the directions horribly wrong.
This would be a Jim Dolson move. I'm just going to tell you. This
and
one right here.
he ended up on the roof of the building.
The roof of
Yeah,
the
the
building.
roof of the building. And, you know, when you first, if you're not expecting the roof, you go up there, you get a little distraught, you're a little confused, and then all of a sudden you hear this thunk behind him. And so he's caught on top of this
It's the
roof.
door closing
That's
behind
right.
him. It's the
No.
exit door.
He's caught on the roof, and so as he's aimlessly walking around the roof, figuring out what to do, he spots his colleagues and the client on the other side of a window looking at him, very bewildered.
This is kind of like from The Office,
I was just
almost. Like
thinking
a
that.
scene from The Office. This must be from The
Yeah,
Office.
you could see Dwight getting stuck on the So, yeah,
Well.
so anyway, they had to open the window for him to climb into the meeting.
Oh,
Absolutely. This
That's
has
a
never
tough,
happened to me, but it might.
dignified entrance there.
It could still happen. It could still happen to
That's
me.
right.
Well, Tim, maybe if these employers had invested in their team, things may have been a little bit different. You wouldn't be caught on the roof or fired on your first day, I guess.
Right.
And that's our topic this morning. We found this article at Forbes.com, and it's titled 5 Unique Ways to Invest in Your Employees. Now, this was written by a fellow named John Hall way back in the archives, July of 2013, but it's still pretty timeless,
Yeah, and I definitely, some of the things he talks about still apply for sure today. And, the typical employee benefits just no longer differentiate the company.
Right.
Having good pay and,
Those are givens anymore.
Yeah, they are. So companies are realizing they must offer some unique advantages in order to keep top talent in their company. Investing in your team members is not a new strategy, but there are some new and creative ways that people are doing what they're doing to create loyalty.
For sure, in this good economy like that we've had now for the last several years, companies are having to be a lot more creative in order to attract and then keep good team members, people who are not going to end up on the roof going to a meeting.
Yeah.
But good pay and traditional benefits, they're no longer viewed as the differentiator. They're just, you got to have these as entrance into the game.
Absolutely. So here are 5 unique ways that employers can invest in their teams. And the first one is thought leadership. And this is the idea of being very deliberate in finding opportunities for your team members to go share their expertise in public venues.
Right.
So, Tim, do you ever get invitations to go speak publicly?
Sure. Yeah.
I would imagine you would,
Yeah.
being in radio. And
We have, yeah, and answer questions about how it works or whatever.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
and
why-
also the public comes here a lot for tours, like
Sure.
scout tours.
That's
and
true.
that sort
Oh,
of
nice.
I
type
didn't
of
think
thing.
about that.
Do they ever ask,
Career day.
why do you have Jim and Ben on that show anyways?
Well, as a matter of fact, no.
What's the amateur hour at the end of the 8th?
The voters are rising up against us, Ben. Well, having these folks represent the company, your company, helps them it's a sense of pride.
Yeah.
So, Tim, I imagine like that gives you a sense of pride to be able to go out and do that and represent them. And,
Sure.
the second idea is personal branding. And it's somewhat related to the first idea of going out in public and speaking, but you're building your brand. And this is really about helping each of your team members with their individual professional brand. So, Tim, think about this for a minute. You've got your own personal brand going here as host of this morning show at WBCK.
Right.
How long did it take you to get that in place? And do you ever think about that?
Well, sure, and it changes depending on the role. I mean, when I first started here, it was similar to what I do now. A lot of community interviews and
Right.
that type of thing, and news, weather, and sports. And then it became like more of a political talk show for a while.
Okay.
And then I, had a different role that was more behind the scenes, and
Okay.
then a different role in the morning show where I was more of like a player.
Okay.
And now, the morning show. So it changes all the time, and I think that's true in any
Yeah.
workplace. Depending on the job, the brand changes.
Right. So you've had to rotate your brand in and out of different themes throughout the years, the way it sounds. So,
Tweak it a little bit. I mean, I
Yeah.
still try to be me, but I also try not to be overtly political in the morning because I think people need a break at some point.
we listen to Rank when we want that.
That's right.
Exactly. Well, that's true.
So I mean, that's his brand.
Yep.
So
Well, you can, and there's a lot of ways to do this, right? I mean, for instance, I know you share a lot on the website on WBCK, and that also kind of goes to help, reinforcing your personal brand as well as the company. So the company can do that by sharing your ideas or, the awards that you received on social media. So the third idea here is having a unique culture benefits. And there's probably even more ways to do this. There's millions of ways.
Yeah, for example, volunteering as a team at some social causes or charities that are important to your team members. We're doing this at U.S. Staffing.
Mhm.
We volunteer in different aspects of our different communities. Just kind of like being there is so people understand who we are and what we're about. It's part of our culture and engaging with people around us so they understand who we are as well. And now listen, this fourth idea is called personal time investment. Many employers are a little scared of doing this, spending too much time with their employees because they're worried about blurring those boundaries between employer and employee.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Employers should be conscious of that, of making sure that you don't blur those lines so that you end up being more of their friend than their employer. But,
Right. Yeah.
if you don't spend any time outside of the day-to-day work, then team members naturally feel that disconnect between them.
I mean, we're like, we work with each other 8-10 hours a day.
I know.
It's hard not to have your lives personally blend together a little bit, even if you are employer and employee side sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. So the final idea in this article is networking expansion. And this is exactly what it sounds like. It's about continuously introducing your team members to business and industry leaders.
Yeah. So the upside here is that your team members will acknowledge that you're providing some opportunities for them to expand their own personal and professional network with other business leaders around them in the community. Plus, when your team members have a large network, your company stands to reap the benefits from the insights that they can gain from those relationships, and even not just insights, new business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, maybe your employer is not investing in you as a professional. And if that's the case, then we dare you to succeed and stop into our office for a conversation.
We double dog dare you.
Double dog dare you to come in. Or maybe you're an employer that is looking for some great team members to invest in. Call us. We have some great team members that are looking for a great place to work. Jim, how can people reach out to us?
Yeah, so Ben and Tim, if employers and potential team members want to talk with us, they can find us on Facebook at U.S. Staffing Agency. They can live chat with us on our website at usstaffingagency.com or come to our Battle Creek location at 5420 Beckley Road. We're in Suite C. Our phone number is 517-549-2400. Actually, I think that is the wrong phone number.
It's 849.
It's 849.
It's a typo.
And if you call that number, you might get Jonesville.
That's right.
All right, go see them down at U.S. Staffing Agency. I triple dog dare.
Triple dog.
There you go. Thanks, Tim.
All right, thanks, guys. Talk to you
Thanks.
next week.